Okay, welcome to our actually this is actually our second Stark Day series. So we had the first one in September, right? Where Darlington introduced himself. He also shared how he got into StarkNet, Cairo, and all. So, but today it will be a different thing. Like we now have like more developers, mostly in Africa, in Nigeria, but then we'll definitely expand to every other country in Africa for sure. So, and also we'll be giving a quick recap on the recently concluded Cairo class we did. I believe that it was actually like quite interesting for everyone that participated. And then if you still want to like have a look at the class, you can just go to our YouTube handle at StarkNet Africa to rewatch or probably get to watch the videos from the classes. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce the speakers. We have, and they also introduce themselves as well. We have Darlington, we have Code Visa, that's Kelvin. We have this Mr. Beams, and we have Ghost Power. I don't know why it's not yet part of the speakers. Okay, so let me start from Ghost Power. Ghost Power, please can you introduce yourself? Oh, sorry, Darlington, can you introduce yourself, please?
Um, Good evening, everyone. My name is Darlington, Nnam Darlington, particularly.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I mean, just proper. Okay, let me just also make Blessing the speaker. Okay, so Kelvin, can you please also introduce yourself?
Good evening, everybody. My name is Kelvin Adimola. I've participated in the just concluded StarkNet cohorts.
So over to you, Mr. Abins.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abims. I'm a blockchain developer at Web3 Bridge, part of the just concluded Cairo Bootcamp. Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's very cool. Okay, I'm trying to get every other person in this space. I'm trying to get Blessing to speak. So just give me like 1 minute. Let me just. Okay. Okay, Blessing, I just sent you an invite to speak. Okay. Okay, Blessing, you're up now. Just introduce yourself.
Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Blessing Emma. I'm
Yeah.
a blockchain developer also. I participated in the Cairo classes and also organized the with Darlington, Ghost Power, and Paul.
Okay. I don't know what's wrong with thus far it's not like, but we're just going to like continue and try and figure out like for him to get into this space. Okay, so yeah, so since we're very like good to actually have you all here. Since we're like met Darlington before, I'm actually going to start with Mr. Beams. So you kind of like tell us how he got into like how he got to know about StarkNet and like his experience as a developer.
All right. So basically, I've been hearing about StarkNet for a while now, but I got more interested in it during the Web3 Lagos conference organized by Web3 Bridge, where Darlington like give more hands-on exposure to like the concepts surrounding like Cairo and StarkNet ecosystem. And so far, it's been it's been a good stuff, especially understanding like the different intricacies associated with like StarkNet and why people should build on StarkNet while in Cairo and those stuff. Yeah, that's it from me.
Cool. Cool. Okay, so okay, let me just get over to Kelvin. Kelvin, can you also like tell us like how you came across StarkNet, like when like how you heard first about it?
All right. I heard about StarkNet first when Web3 Bridge had their conference. That was when Darlington did his presentation about the StarkNet and the Stack ecosystem. And for a while, I've been seeing solutions around like scaling solutions for Ethereum, like solutions such as sidechains, rollup, but I've never really like encountered StarkNet and what they do. But the session which Darlington held that day actually like shed light and the possibilities the StarkNet ecosystem offers. So that was my first encounter, and that actually like piqued my interest to want to like learn more about this StarkNet, Cairo, and how you can build on the platform as a developer.
That's very cool. Yeah, I mean, Darlington actually did, he made a very like good, he did a very good presentation at the Web3 Bridge events in Lagos. That was in October, yeah. So, and I'm sure a lot of people like got to know about like StarkNet around then. That's in Nigeria, and so that's like great to have something like that. And we actually plan on having more of that like next year, right? Okay, so let's go over to Blessing. Blessing, please can you also tell us like how you got to know about StarkNet as well?
Okay, hi everybody. So, like most people here, they got to know about StarkNet at the Web3 Lagos event. And for me, I've been seeing Darlington on LinkedIn beforehand, and I've been seeing his articles, but I never really paid attention to it. But when he was talking about StarkNet, what got me intrigued was that it's like Solidity, but it's all about L2. Like when I looked into StarkNet and what they're doing generally, I love the fact that they are the forefront of L2, and it's like a way of plugging in, and that's why I reached out to Darlington, and that's how we are here.
Okay, I think we have Gospel now. Gospel, I think this is you, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Blockchain.
So, can you hear me?
Oh, cool. Yeah, sure, sure.
All right,
Okay, so
cool. Yeah,
the stage is
sorry
just,
for
yeah.
the. Yeah, I had issues logging in my own account, but yeah, good evening, everybody. Gospel Isaac. I'm an engineer myself. I started. I went into Cairo a few months ago, and yeah, I'm among the team that organized the Cairo just concluded class, and um, happy to be here. So, should I go ahead and explain how I heard about Cairo?
Yeah, how you heard about
All
StarkNet,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. So basically, I like ZK in the first place. So basically, I like zero knowledge proofs and the technology. I find it really fascinating on how we're able to prove things without giving too much information, rather without even giving valuable information. So that was exactly why I it piqued my interest, and I'm like, okay, this technology is not the first to implement this, but I think I just when I saw that they were using ZK stacks and found out about it, I read a bit about it, and yeah, I I just fell in love with it. So that's like a brief overview of how I started Cairo.
That's very cool. That's very cool. I mean, ZK is actually a very, very cool concept, right? I think it's actually like what gets people interested into like getting to know more about validity pros and all. But yeah, okay, so the next question for you all is like I know you heard about Cairo, you heard about StarkNet, right? But then as a developer, you ask like, how do you build on this platform? How do you build on this? Like, so what was your motivation on like picking up to get to learn about Cairo a bit more? Also considering that is a very is a new language and like it's a bit difficult, right? So, like, what was the motivation to like pick it up and say, "Okay, I'm going to like dig into this stuff to learn it a bit more." Let's start with you, Mr. Abims.
So, prior to the point where I started with StarkNet, I've had this love-hate relationship with ZK. I was interested in ZK. It's what's it called? Psychom blew out of place. I was really confused when I started diving into like Psychom trunk and stuff. So I knew I was still going to like ZK, but I definitely know at that point that like Psychom is not the way to go. So and when I now got to know that with Cairo StarkNet you can just write provable programs in a more simpler manner and still with elegant stuff. So that's majorly how I got give it a shot. Yeah.
Cool. And I bet the class that was conducted like helped to make the push. So that's why we came up with the idea of also like having a 2.0 of it, and we're going to like make it possible next year. And we are looking at quarter two next year, which is around April, right? Okay, so Kelvin, can you also like tell us the motivation like with getting started on Cairo? Like,
Well, my own motivation basically was for me personally, I'm kind of bullish on Ethereum. So seeing other layer twos and also like other blockchains solutions coming up and with the insights Darlington gave during the conference. So it really like stirred my interest. Like, okay, this is an additional layer to Ethereum. Why not just learn about this? And yeah, that was like my motivation really. And the end goal is basically to learn more about Cairo and also like how you can like plug in the smart contract with the front end. That's my own that's my own niche in which I want to like focus into. So I think the classes, the instructors have been of great help and they are so coupled with that, so those are like my motivations to keep on learning Cairo.
so I mean, I remember you said like a few weeks ago that you're working on some content um front end. Are you still working on something like that?
Yes. So, what I said basically was where I work currently, like, actually interning. We're having
Okay.
like a session for developers, African developers. So, we are given the liberty to like choose topics where we are going to like speak about, like a session to like get people more into tech. So, my own topic basically was to like lecture about how you build decentralized applications on StarkNet using Cairo and also how you can integrate with the smart contracts.
So that's very cool. We're looking forward to that definitely. Okay, listen, can you also like tell us like the motivation behind getting started with Cairo?
Okay, so my one is that I didn't want to be behind L2s. Like we have all been hearing about L2s, and now we all know about L1s, Ethereum, Bitcoin, Solana, different kinds. But now L2 is like the newest thing. So the wise thing for any developer is to position themselves and start learning about okay, what's the next big thing, and that's L2, being able to move our assets between chain, and who are the forefronts of this. So when you introduced StarkNet to us, it was very, very interesting. And so far, I love the session. I think my favorite part is the fact that the classes are on YouTube. So anytime you want to go and rewatch a class, you can just go on our YouTube page and just go and watch it again and learn and practice. And I like the fact that people are really interested in learning. I know not everybody it's not easy to be consistent, but people really they still showed up. I know Manakin showed up a lot, and I think Abins also showed up with Kelvin. So people are really, really eager to learn, and it's really good for us all.
Exactly, yeah. And actually, yeah, I mean, Lessons was actually like the person that put together the content and Notion and also like helps with the classes as well. I mean, actually a very good job with that. Okay, so goes for also, I mean, you're already a senior dev, so can you also like tell us like your motivation behind getting started with Cairo?
Hmm. So first off, I don't know if I'm a senior dev, but I'll take that. Well, yeah. So um, basically, I'm curious about a lot of all these things, right? I find it really amazing, from the fundamental that it's all about zero knowledge proof to the fact that you can really build amazing stuff. So the possibilities of building on Ethereum and on layer 2 technologies are endless. You understand? So day by day on Twitter, you see amazing technologies, things that you never thought about. People are building it on StarkNet, right? So those are the kind of things that motivate me. I'm a builder myself, and when I see a place whereby you don't only build, but you get a lot of you get a lot of new information, and that's really mind blowing because in as much as the blockchain has been existing for a while, when you see something novel and amazing, and StarkNet is at the forefront of that. So that is among the reasons why I'm learning it, because I know that in as much as it's an L2 technology, which is really cool, the underlying technology powering it is amazing. If you go under the hood and understand how Cairo works, you know that these things they are close to magic. They are close to magic. So those things are really interesting. So that's that's it, why I love Cairo and love StarkNet, and I want to become good at it as the day goes by. Yes, so that's it.
And I mean, I bet that a lot of people like enjoy that. But that's why I said that you are more like a senior deal right now. But then, moving forward, so since like you guys have mentioned your motivation behind getting started with Cairo, and most of you guys like got to know about it like from the events in Lagos. So right now, let's say right now that you have probably learned about Cairo like from that October to this is December. Um, would you have like why would you like recommend? Do you have any reason now to recommend StarkNet or probably Pirate to anyone that you know? Probably a developer that you kind of come across. Would you like recommend them to learn Pyro, or you think you just have to like learn a bit more before you start recommending Pyro to people? Okay, so I mean, the stage is yours. Um,
All
Mr.
right.
James, are you
So
still there? Okay, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here. So in terms of like recommending it to people, yes, definitely. For people interested in the low level magic of system programming and stuff. So it's a good way to get your hands dirty. Yes, you see a lot of stuff you don't understand, like can my brain undo this and stuff. But honestly, if you like challenges, it's actually a good way to. It's a good thing to look at, and considering like the fact that it's not totally new, but it's still a fairly it's still an ecosystem with a few people there. If you get yourself rooted in it now, do you have like more advantage getting yourself set up there? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, StarkNet Skyro, like, it's still a very, like, it's actually, like, massively growing. Like, it's a promising place to build, right? I mean, anyone that, like, is looking for like long-term stuff. I mean, layer twos on Ethereum is actually a very good idea, considering like how congested Ethereum gets doing like when there's a lot of activities on it. I mean, and every other like at the advantage of building on a non like EVM compatible blockchain like StarkNet, right? I mean, there are a lot of advantage of building on StarkNet. So definitely, I would recommend StarkNet or Cairo to anyone because I mean it's actually very promising. Okay, so over to you, Kelvin. Can you also like tell us what you think about this?
Yeah, definitely. I would recommend Cairo to anybody, especially if you like to like explore new terrains and also you love like challenges. So currently, I think Cairo is still like in its. Pardon me if this is wrong. It's still like in its fancy because it's a low level language at this moment. So there's a lot of stuff like you have to like wrap your head around. So as time progresses, it gets like easier, and I think it will be like easy to get more people to adopt the building on the platform. So I would definitely like recommend learning the solutions StarkNet offer and also like learning Cairo as a programming language itself.
Cool. Okay, so what about you, Blessing?
Hi. So for me, I would definitely recommend it to people to learn. Like I said before, you want to be ahead of other developers, so you have to position yourself in L2s, and one of them is StarkNet. That's one reason. Another one is the fact that as a developer, you can't just know Solidity and think that that's enough to get a great job in the Web3 ecosystem. It's good to have like other skills. Like now, if your company is looking into L2s, you have to be able to look at the languages that are built there and learn them. And Cairo is one of them. And even these guys, Nethermind, they have like project on StarkNet, and it's like developers that they hire, they have to know Cairo. So for you to be able to make it in the space more and to increase your chances of more opportunities, it's not just by knowing Solidity that you get the job. You have to add more skills to yourself, such as Cairo. So I'll definitely recommend it to other people.
Exactly. I mean, talking about job opportunities, like we have seen like a lot of them like coming up because I mean, considering like it's a very like new stuff, not completely new job, but then people like don't completely like know it so much. I mean, there's still a lot of opportunities in StarkNet ecosystem to explore. And just like we have seen, we have like interns at Nethermind, and we also like have Darlington, who is like currently working at Gent, right? So it's actually a very good opportunity, like for people talking about job perspective. Okay, so just for can you also like share your thoughts on this?
Okay, yeah, definitely I would recommend Cairo and StarkNet to anyone, right? And here are my reasons. First off, like as a developer, if you learn Cairo, right? So if I'm trying to be pessimistic here and I say, okay, if Cairo goes away, but if you understand Cairo as a language, you would be able to understand most languages because Cairo, it's actually the fine line between having a low level language and having a high level language. So Cairo gives you a way to choose between, do I want to do this thing as from a high level, or do I want to do this from a low level? So it gives you that sweet spot whereby you know that you're not just learning how to write Cairo, you're learning how to program. You understand? So you're not just learning how to write code, you're learning how machines work, you're learning how code is being processed, you're learning how some low level things. Like if you remember during our class, we talked about frame pointers, we talked about location pointers, we talked about um, stack pointers. These things are things that you would not normally see in languages like it's not like they're not there, but you don't just see them while writing. You have to probably do a lot of things before you get to that extent. So if I'm trying to be pessimistic here and say, okay, if Cairo goes away, you will still be a very good engineer having the knowledge of Cairo. But on the realistic and optimistic part, Cairo is an amazing technology and you should definitely learn it. Like, and I want to say this, about 5 years ago or 6 years ago, Ethereum started, and most of them that started with the technology, if you see them today, they are more like, in terms of technicalities, they are more like very very good at these things, and the knowledge they have right now is like sometimes when I see them, I just wish that, okay, as when I knew about Ethereum some years ago, I would have like loved to have joined the community. But if you're looking for something like that, StarkNet is at that point right now. StarkNet is at its early stages, and if you really want to be able to contribute and you want to be able to give to the community, or you want to be able to show your work, or you want to be able to be part of something really great, you should really learn Cairo. And this is what I would tell anybody, because even if you don't want to really go deep into the, okay, you want to become a programmer, even if you learn how StarkNet as a technology work, because Cairo is just a language used on StarkNet, which powers a lot of things on StarkNet. But the StarkNet network itself, if you really want to be part of it, you can, like, there are communities, there are, like, you can even join, like yesterday they just posted something that they are doing their first governance phase, which means that participants of the network have the opportunity to vote on key decisions that are going to be made on the network. These are things like that started years ago on Ethereum, but now they are doing it now because because they are still at the early stages, you are like opportunity to be part of it. So this is a very good time to join in and be part of this great innovation. So this is what I'll tell anyone. Cairo StarkNet is amazing, and you should definitely learn it. And also, don't be scared if we say it's for geeks or zero knowledge people. Even if you don't want to go into deep into zero knowledge, if you understand Cairo, it will give you the grace to learn it gradually. So basically, you can just understand how the syntax works, and probably in some months' time, you notice that you know those low level things that you even never wanted to learn in the first place. You understand? So to wrap up, that's just, I would definitely recommend Cairo to anyone, and it's a really amazing technology. Cairo StarkNet. Yeah, over to you, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, you gave very good references there, considering like when Ethereum launched in, I think 2006, 2016, I guess, yeah. Sorry, 2016. I mean, considering like the growth since then, it has actually been amazing, right? And if you check out like people that are, say, like contributing quite early enough, you would see the reason why we are like looking these references, because if you look at like how StarkNet is like coming up, you see like it have like similar growth pattern, right? So we are looking at, like, say, in the next few years that we will see like massive growth, even like from, let's say, next year, probably for the next bull at any time. But then the growth have actually started now. So definitely, even if you're not a developer or something, you can definitely like get your head around like StarkNet, know what it's all about, and make your contribution like any way you like you can. Okay, so moving on to the next question. I mean, actually, how I got to know about Darlington was because of his amazing articles. I mean, that was in September this year. I mean, I was like reading through his articles, and I was like, wow. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And I had to like hit him. I had to like chat him up, and that's like how we got to know. And yeah, so considering like all this, I'm actually curious to know if anyone is like working on any content or any building anything StarkNet right now, probably using Cairo to do right now, probably writing a technical article around Cairo, StarkNet and all. So uh Mr. Abrams, are you doing like anything like this right now?
Um, at the moment, I don't have any content in the pipeline going for Cairo, but it's part of my schedule. So let's say any moment from now, some few content should be ready on that. Yeah.
Kelvin, I mean, considering what you talked about, or like what you said about Netherlands, I mean, I guess you have a lot of things in pipeline for us.
Oh, that was Kelvin, not me.
Yeah, I mean, like Kelvin, yeah.
Yeah, I have some stuff coming up, so I'll definitely share once I am done.
I think we lost Blessing, but then probably she'll just join in again. So what about you, Gospel? Are you cooking any stuff?
Okay, yeah, so there's one we just finished working on not too long ago, me and Darlington. It's Streamify, and I don't know if some of you saw it. It got a runner-up for the Encode Up Hackathon, which is really nice. So over the coming months, I intend to make modifications to this project. So basically, what this project does is it's called Streamify, and there is this protocol on Ethereum blockchain. Okay, it's not on Ethereum, but it's on Polygon and some other network. It's called Superfluid, right? And what Superfluid does is they enable real life value streaming. So basically, instead of me to send you token once, okay, send you $10. Instead, I would say I want to send you $10 over the next 1 month. And if you divide how many seconds 1 month has, you'd be able to calculate how many of those, the fraction of token you'll be getting every second. So this is what Superfluid does. So the goal was to implement that in Cairo, and we were able to get that done. We built a minimal implementation of that, and yeah, over the coming months, I'll make updates to that and make it better and hopefully scale it to a point whereby it will be able to serve the StarkNet ecosystem. And also, I'm currently working on an article um, that would explain how to build a full stack application on Cairo using on StarkNet, and that will definitely come out. I want it to come out before the end of this year, so keep an eye on that. It's come out soon. So that's what I've been working on so far.
Yeah, congrats to you and Darlington for being the runners of Encode Hackathon. I mean, it's actually like not easy, right? Definitely there will be like more hackathons and all. And actually, probably we might like still have something similar to that for African because then it's still in the works. Um, like okay, yeah. Okay, I guess that we'll talk about that later. Okay, so I think this is it, right? So talking about the Cairo class we had, like we started in October 30th, that ran through November, then ended beginning of this month. I mean, that's all like great, and we actually like amazed like by my amount of people that um, apply for the classes and also for the people that showed up. I mean, we had people that okay. Let me make lesson. I mean, we had people that like they were very consistent in showing up, and we are really like grateful for that. And we are hoping by the next class we're having which will come up in April next year. We hope that um now, definitely by then, people like more people will like talk about Cairo, StarkNet, and all. I mean, in Nigeria and also like in Africa as a whole. And so, like, we'll make it like a very big stuff. But before then, definitely we are looking at attending a few events before that April. So, so just keep an eye for that. Okay, Blessing, good to have you back. So, we are asking if anyone like have anything they are building, and yeah, do you have anything you're building right now? StarkNet, probably anything you're working on, probably an article or probably any stuff in particular.
So I can't really work on anything right now because I'm having exam in school. But I have like a article that I'm writing about StarkNet, but I've left it for now because of exams.
That's very cool. Okay, so Darlington, I guess just if you have like few things to talk about like the Cairo Bootcamp 1.0, we can just like chip it in.
So,
I can't really hear
can
it
you hear me?
properly.
Can you hear me
Mm,
now?
yeah, but then it's kind of a bit low.
Is this better?
No, it's not. It's not. It's not better. Uh,
Okay, is this better now?
yeah, I mean this is quite better. Yeah.
Okay. Um First of all, I want to like say a very big thank you to first of all the team that's blessing God's power Paul for the effort that was really put into organizing Cairo Bootcamp 1.0. It was a lot. I want to say thank you mostly to God's power for like most of the classes were so good, mostly thanks to him. And I want to also say big thank you to most of the attendees who were very consistent. At least I can remember I saw Kelvin in literally every class. There was also Manakin, there was Manulu too, and a few others too. I think I saw Mr. Beams too in some of the classes. So I just want to say big, and yeah, I saw Ephraim too. So I just want to say a very big thank you to everybody, and thank you so much. Without you guys, the boot camp would definitely not be a success, right? It's one thing to hold boot camp, it's another thing to have people attend it. And yeah, so basically, before we close the session, right, I would just like to like get our feedback as regards to the boot camp. So we're looking to hold another boot camp right by next year. I don't think the date is out yet, but we want to like possibly get feedbacks as to what we did not properly do well in this class that you guys will probably want us to improve on for the next class, right? I don't know. The floor is just open basically. If you have something to say, you could just probably raise your hand. Let's not just be turn by turn or something. If you just have something to say, you could just probably unmute your mic and speak if you're a speaker. But if you're a listener, probably just request to speak. Okay. Am I talking to myself? Paul, can you still hear me?
No, I can hear it properly, like very well. I can hear it very well.
No, we can hear you guys. So I think like maybe one thing we can improve on for the next boot camp is like a way of keeping people incentivized to like do the assignments and also to like build more projects. And one thing that comes to my mind is like probably have a little bounties here and there in terms of maybe complete the task, get this, get that. A way of basically getting people to just complete their assignment. So it's the assignment that is the proof of their learning.
Okay. Sure, that can actually be implemented. Probably have to think about it, but because I'm sorry about the background noise. That's why I was trying to use my headphone initially, but I don't know. You guys said you guys can't hear me. So, yeah, it's something we can actually probably work on. Like I said earlier, it would be expensive. It's something we would probably need to discuss again. So, but it's a very great idea because I feel like the last assignments we did, right? We didn't really have much turn up after week 3, and I can remember for for the persons who attended the Zero Knowledge University cohorts, right? I think that was organized by Harmony Ziki Dao. I know Mr. Beams attended. I don't know any about any other person too, but you would see that a lot of persons were more motivated to like carry out most of those assignments because there was like prizes attached to them, right? Per week you get per assignment you complete correctly, you get $200, and I think at the end of the 8 weeks it compiles to $1,600. But that on its own was because like there was Harmony sponsoring the DAO to do most of all those stuff. So it's something we probably need to discuss again. But it's a great idea. So, but does any other person have? I think Ephraim wants to say something. I just made you speaker.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Okay, so I wanted to react basically to the class. Even you mentioned the ZK proof. I think I attempted it also. And despite the monetary benefits attached to it, I didn't finish. Yeah, it was becoming so complex, understanding a whole lot of stuff. And I think that's exactly what applies to the boot camp. I think 7 weeks. I think we are given 7 weeks to understand the Cairo language, and it's quite cumbersome, I would say, because attending classes and sometimes you meet yourself in the street of Lagos while classes are going on. Cool. So one thing I discovered is when I had to settle down for like say a while, I started the journey into Cairo by Darlington, and I discovered also that from I think the second week when it started startling was even fun, like understanding the syntax, strings, and cool. It's becoming clear. But in the case of having 7 weeks, I think that 7 weeks wasn't really that. I think at the third week, I was still attending. Well, I was having difficulties understanding the syntax. And for anybody who would like to settle down to go through the whole Cairo stuff and understand anymore, like I would recommend the journey to Cairo. Like very, very, very awesome too. But in the aspect of assignments, yes, I think even if you attach monetary values to them, you still won't convince anybody who is finding difficulty in understanding the sectors to finish. Yes, I haven't attempted a couple of assignments, and I think I reached out to somebody and asked if we could still submit. It is very, very, very difficult, and it's a very like kudos to the tutors. Like they made every attempt explaining some, especially that recursion. Like so, I think the aspect of assignments and maybe extend the period of tutoring. I think you did attend Thursday classes. I didn't attend that, but that's like very, very, very awesome. Maybe create more time for the the classes. Say for instance, when we started the introduction, I think at that period I find difficulty understanding syntax. Okay, I think it was clear what differentiates contract from program, but with time, I think when we create more time, if say bootcamp 2 will come forth, there should be like more time for people to understand, and yes, maybe those Thursday classes could come in between too on Sundays. So thank you so much.
Yeah, I think you actually made a very valid point. Well, I can remember basically the reason why we had to shorten to 7 weeks, right, was because we were doing our best to ensure that the boot camp does not stretch into Christmas, right? Because we need stretching into Christmas would be like inconveniencing for a lot of persons. So, but I actually resonate with the fact that those stuffs were actually difficult. In fact, when I was actually setting those stuffs, right, I would ask myself, okay, if you had started this thing like 3 weeks ago, would you be able to attempt with 3 assignments? And I was so sure that that except I had dedicated the whole week studying it, I'm not sure I should have been able to like. But the whole idea, Sha, was to attempt. You did not necessarily need to get it right because I did not expect most persons to get it right. Though. But the whole idea is just like I can remember basically. I think it was just like you said. It was one of the very crucial issue with the zero knowledge bootcamp, right? It was even worse because there was no live sessions, right? You just get those materials and they expect you to study it and do some very, very difficult assignments. And a lot of persons had issues with completing that class, not because like they couldn't. Yeah, it was difficult, but a lot of persons were so busy to find time to dedicate towards studying those materials. And I think that was why most persons dropped out. A lot of persons dropped out during the week. In fact, I think it was about 400 persons, over 400 persons started, and we're less than 40 that graduated, right? Around 32 or so. So the thing is for the next boot camp, I definitely believe would be stretching it further. It would definitely be far more than 7 weeks, and the assignments will be better created to like fit what we think you could achieve in a week though. So but people that actually did there, some persons attempted it though and actually got it right. But I want to believe maybe some of those persons already had a prior Cairo knowledge before the class started. And yeah, I think week 1 and week 2 was okay. The whole issue started with week 3. Week 3 was in no go area about I think for over I think we had over 12 persons attending the class, but we had less than 3 persons completing the assignment. So, but yeah, that's a valid point, and we'll definitely fix it with the next bootcamp. We'll definitely consider that with the next bootcamp. Thank you so much for bringing that up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, like,
Um,
okay.
sorry, you can speak.
Okay, adding to that, like, that's why, like, for the next 1 week, we are about, like, we are going to have, like, next year, we are going to have more tutors because this is one of the reasons, just like you mentioned, Darlington, that we are avoiding to, like, not to enter, like, SMAS for the one we just concluded, but then for the next one, that shouldn't be an issue. And also, we are going to, like, have more tutors so we can like even like have classes like probably twice a week, right? Just like this guy say, and stretch the class a bit more and just basic understanding of all this. I mean, if we had like made it twice a week, it would have been a bit stressful for just gospel and Darlington. But now for the 2.0, we are expecting to like have more tutors and we already like coordinating this right now. So actually, if you're here and you probably have interest or something like, you can just hit me up and proceed to that. So just first make sure that the 2.0 like works out very well. And thanks for that.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much, Paul. So, does any other person probably have a suggestion to make how we can make the next bootcamp better? Anything at all?
So, one thing I would like to suggest is the truth about it is uh, all this like low level stuff. They sound magical, but the thing is, they are complicated for someone who hasn't like find fun doing all this complex stuff. So in the sense that for someone who probably hasn't fully understand like some of this high level programming language, now delving into Cairo, that's like it is achievable, but it's going to like require a lot of determination. So the major thing I think should be there is like probably there should be more clarity on the target like participants, like the stuff they need to know before enrolling for the class so that it will be easier to like at least achieve like a good success rate. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's actually a very valid point, and it was something we actually looking to implement with this class. We're actually looking to like gatekeep it to just persons with particularly a proficient knowledge of Solidity, right? Well, I think I can't recall exactly, but we decided to make it open because we are getting a lot of requests. This that I can't remember what happened, Sha, but we now resorted to making it open, considering it was also our first bootcamp. But just like you said, when we started, we had over I don't know I think in the first class we had close to 27 participants. I don't know, is that correct, Paul?
Yeah, yeah, 28, right? But
Yeah.
then yeah, total of people that applied was 72. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Exactly. So now I don't even care about people who apply because it's almost like people see stuff online and just fill it up because they it seems like it's
Yeah.
cool. But then the point here was now most persons applied for the class and even week one was actually looking difficult. You see, I feel like most of the stuff, especially when it comes to layer twos, right? Actually, should I say, would be very difficult for someone getting into blockchain to understand, even forgetting the whole Cairo part that's writing solidity, getting to explain like how rollups work and zero knowledge proofs and all those stuffs are, should I say, would be a little too much for someone getting into the blockchain ecosystem. And we had some persons too that was just looking to get started with blockchain. Remember this other guy that sent me a DM the other time and he said he just got started with blockchain. He doesn't understand what we talked about, zero knowledge proofs, rollups, and the rest. And if I can send him extra articles to read on that. So that's the thing. I feel like that gatekeeping stuff would, although it's hard, but yeah, it's very necessary because else we'll just have a lot of persons apply, and after week one we'll see a lot of persons quitting too. So I think it's something we should definitely look into. Probably like at least you should understand solidity to a certain extent. Let's say solidity or rust. You get just you need to have been involved with the ecosystem for a while. You get to like actually follow up, because Cairo is difficult. Like there was this analogy that God's power used that I liked so much. That was the fact that it sits between low level and high level, right? Like unlike most languages that try to abstract everything and just give you a high level language to write beautiful things, Cairo gives you that bittersweet experience. So it's not something very abstract. In fact, if you understand solidity right, you find that most of the concepts, contract concepts we use in solidity still applies to Cairo. Literally everything. So this stuff is just syntax changes, and okay, and the low level parts might it's not necessarily something you need to grasp just starting out. I would always advise you start with the high level part. That's just understanding. If you go to the docs, I think it's divided into three sections. Um they have Hello Cairo, Hello StarkNet. What's the first one? I can't remember what the first one is, right? But that first one is like the very low level thing, right? Then after that, we have the Hello Cairo that teaches you how to write Cairo programs, and then you have Hello StarkNet. I always advise people to go in the opposite order. Start from Hello StarkNet because that's easier to understand. Once you do that, Hello Cairo writing Cairo programs becomes easier because they are literally linked. They are almost the same thing. So just have very minute differences, right? Then you can now go into the low level stuff. So when you understand the high level stuff, sometimes like it actually gives you a better, as in a better foundation to like study the low level stuffs. And just to go back to what we're saying, I've even digressed a little, is the fact that Cairo is not very abstract. It's not totally different. So, like Gospel also said, you don't need to understand the whole zero knowledge proof thing to actually write Cairo. It's not like Secom where you need to know how to write very abstract circuits. God know where they imported them from. But then it just gives you that it's just basically same thing, almost same thing with solidity, but then it gives some very little syntax changes and some very little conceptual changes too. So I think a good understanding of solidity, or we can also say Rust too, for um probably people who write Rust too. You can also see Rust too would be needed to apply for the next bootcamp. So definitely look into that. Okay, so is there any other person want to say something? I think we are almost running out of time already. Okay, I can't hear anybody else. So, but let me first confirm that my network is not messing up. Paul, you can hear me, she?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
I can hear
okay.
you.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Yeah.
okay. I think there are no more suggestions. So,
Yeah.
uh, okay, okay. So
No, I don't think. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think we have anything else to say. Most people.
okay, okay. So, just like I started earlier, on behalf of the team, I want to say a very big thank you to every person who took out time to attend the bootcamp. It was a lovely experience because you guys showed up. You guys kept showing up. And we are making efforts, and we promise that the next bootcamp would definitely be better. But we are definitely hoping by the next bootcamp, people who attended the first bootcamp, in fact, every single person here should not be attending as a student. Instead, we need you guys as more of tutors, right? So there's still a lot of time to the next bootcamp, right? So probably giving you some basic foundation to work with. I just believe that in the next few months you can actually do stuff like try to skill on your own. Whether probably you're not able to attempt the assignments, you could still like try to attempt those assignments going forward. Uh, and I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, that is just like I said. we are working on having more tutors, and definitely people that participated fully in the classes um, that would like be part of stuff for the next one. And also one more thing, we still have another follow-up class coming up. We did follow-up class for week 1, week 2, and week 3. So we still have to do for week 4, week 5, and week 6. This is actually like get to talk about like the assignments from each classes. So there's no fixed date for that yet. But then when we fix the date, we're going to like let everyone know, probably via email and also from in the group Telegram group as well. And since we don't have any other thing to talk about, I really want to thank everyone for showing up for this Twitter space. And this is the second one we have in particular. So let's say after the next bootcamp, probably by next year, we'll have another Twitter space like this to get to know more career developers in Africa, Nigeria, anywhere, right? So thank you all for showing up for this class, and do have a good night's rest.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.
guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, bye,
bye.
everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.